What's up? It's Alex from Strength Hacks here. Gonna go over the second vlog in my at-home training series. This is back from March. I know I'm a little late, but with gyms closing down again, I felt inspired to get this video out so I can hopefully help some people out there that aren't very sure of what to do to maintain and if not gain some size or endurance, work capacity, maybe even strength depending on your current strength level. You know, a novice, they can definitely build strength with just basic calisthenics and band movements, honestly. So before we get into it, just make sure you like the video, leave a comment, and hit that like button. So I started off with banded Zercher squats, and they were very good. You know, they felt explosive, but I ended up swapping those out for front box squats for speed work, just to get a little bit more tension and work that would actually carry over to my back squat, and it did. I hit a all-time PR. I think it was June that I got back to training with a squat rack. So all this training, it paid off. Increased my work capacity, my endurance. Also gained a lot of size too. So very happy with this little detour that I had to go through, and I was able to come up with a creative solution with what I had to be able to still make progress in the long run. Doing the reverse lunge here, 50 pounds. It was pretty easy and felt good at this point, but once I got up to 80, it started to hurt that back knee. So nowadays, whenever it's nice out, I do walking lunges with just light weights in my grasp for long periods of time rather than doing lunges with heavy weight. It just doesn't feel good with me. But if you see upcoming, we got the step ups, and that is the more preferred single leg movement to load, in my opinion. I worked my way up. This is 50 pounds. By the end of my time doing these, I was at 110. And once I get a safety squat bar, I actually want to start working step ups back in. Just got to save up a little more money. Maybe tax time I'll end up getting one, because with the straight barbell, things are starting to get stale, unfortunately. Even with bands and stuff, I probably got to get chains too. Just it would be nice to have some different forms of accommodating resistance. So I wish my second step that I'm stepping up on here was a little higher, but the range of motion's good enough. You know, I was just about at a parallel hip to knee angle, so can't be too mad about that. And another great alternative to this, as well as the belt squat. You don't need the belt squat machine, although it is preferred, but you could also just get a Spud Inc. belt and a few boxes and just do them off of that if you're unable to afford the machine. I plan on doing that at some point after I buy specialty bars and more plates. Definitely I gotta have those first. You gotta have your priorities. And after the step-ups, worked my way on over to the banded lunge. I got this move from John Meadows. It does feel better than doing it with a barbell, but there is a drawback due to the strength curve. These felt good, but they also felt too easy. It would be nice to do these with stronger bands, but then again, it would be hard to hold the stronger bands in my hands, and they would fatigue before my legs would fatigue, which is a problem. So possibly, if I was to do this movement again, it would be with stronger bands and looping the bands over my shoulders. That way arms aren't a limiting factor. So next time I do a bodybuilding phase, which should be end of this month actually, I'll probably try those out for a day at least. I also plan on doing the 8-hour arm workout inspired by Rich Piana too, so stay tuned for that. On to one of my favorite exercises. This one definitely helped keep me sane during these tough times. It was the good morning. Did 3 sets of 20 with 100 pounds here. I was shocked I got so many, but as you can see, I did start to cut the depth towards the end, but it happens. I'm still getting the stimulus, and definitely got some erector growth out of this, so my good morning is doing better than ever now. Just recently hit 165 for sets of 14, and I left a few in the tank, so I'm really excited with my progress on the good morning. Excited to pulling my next max deadlift. I'm expecting 490 to 500, somewhere in that range. As long as my accessories keep going up the way they are, I see no problem accomplishing that. And then eventually, 550, 600. Definitely go from there. Got to get more plates though. Right now I only have 512 pounds in plates, so that's it's going to be hard to progress pretty soon unless I can find a good deal on some plates. There's no way I'm going to pay $2 a pound. I just find it ridiculous. I think they should be maybe $1.25, $1.50 at most. But anything more than that is just starting to get ridiculous. Also, I plan on changing the format of these videos just so I can get through the rest of my footage faster. I'm going to kind of do it montage style for each of my main upper body movements, show the progression from March until the end of May and the beginning of June. That was the time period where I had to train with this minimal equipment. I'm really grateful for it because it did teach me a lot about how you can get an effective workout. You don't need a barbell to do that. You don't need dumbbells to do that. You could really even just use heavy things around your lawn. There's a time period I was pressing heavy stones in my yard, cleaning them, pressing them overhead. I ended up building a 140-pound sandbag at one point, which was a lot of fun to work with. Just don't feel trapped in a bubble because you feel like you're a power lifter, you're a bodybuilder. Sometimes you can still get better without the optimal materials, I guess you'd say. And I know they just passed, but I really recommend those Banded Good Mornings. I do them on my off days just for like a little mini workout. It gives a great lower back pump, builds great work capacity in the spinal erectors, which can go a long way towards preventing lower back pumps that can sometimes drag your workouts and just make them take longer because you're moving slow with that low back pump. And then also moving on to the single leg calf raise. The best part of home training is now that I don't have to spend so much time talking to people and driving to and from the gym that I can shore up my weak links like the calves, the abs, things that I felt like I didn't have much time to hammer before. So nowadays I'm doing these with a little bit better form. I'd say I'm not pausing enough here. And I pause at the bottom and the top now. And then I also do another day now. One day a week I do it like this. The other day I do it with a backpack with about 55 pounds on it for just explosive jumping style reps with just a little bit of knee bend. And it really lights the calves up. It's also made them more powerful to help my ankles feel more stable and so on. Just a pro tip on those calf raises. Pausing is very important, especially at the bottom, because if you don't, you tend to use your Achilles tendon to spring up rather than flexing the calf muscles and making them do the work. So just wanted to make sure everyone knew that before we wrap things up here. So right now I'm setting up for band shrugs. It takes a little bit because I'm grabbing like every band I have, which is actually pretty good on the grip. You can see the back is traps are working really hard here. But I found a better variation. You'll see it later on in my progression videos where I do this with single arm. Just allows for a better squeeze in the trap, and you can, get more out of less weight, really. Now on to the upright rows. These were a great exercise while I did them, but I feel like you can get more out of the snatch grip high pull or the hang pull, just due to the fact that you can handle a lot more weight, get a better stretch on the upper back, which is really what I'm trying to get out of this exercise, is just a huge upper back to help with my bench, deadlift, and squat. But these are alright too if you're more of a bodybuilding type bro, Just to make sure that when you're doing these, if you don't have the best shoulders, use a wider grip, snatch grip, to lessen the internal rotation demands. Also, don't really raise it above the sternum. That's also going to keep your shoulders in a healthier position. I have pretty mobile shoulders, so I just recently switched over to the hang pull, which allows you to use a little more weight. But with that closer grip, you do get a little more internal rotation. But I haven't had any shoulder problems yet, so if you have healthy shoulders, I'd say go for the hang pull, not the snatch grip high pull. Moving on to the water jug hammer curl. This thing weighs about 25 pounds, or maybe a little less. It's a 2.5 gallon jug. Worked very well until I was able to get a dumbbell handle. And as you can see, I'm doing arms on a lower day. This is because I was doing nucleus overload training for my biceps and triceps at the time. It's a concept popularized, actually founded by Team 3D Alpha. He's got a pretty cool channel. Recommend you go check him out. So, as he explains it, people who use their muscles every day, they build more nuclei, which allows them to have more satellite cells, which leads to more muscle growth, basically, something like that. It's the reason why steroid users get lots of muscle growth in certain areas, due to the increased satellite cell production that androgens provide. But the way I do it is 4 days a week, just because I don't know, I'm very busy, or maybe I'm just making excuses, honestly, but I guess if I prioritized it, I could be able to get back into the nucleus overload training and doing it 7 days a week the way it was written by its founder. But I just did it 4 days a week, and I got pretty good results with it, so not complaining. Right now, I just find it more important to be working on my weak links like triceps, quads, hamstrings, glutes, lower back, abs. Those take up priority of my off day mini workout space right now, so I don't really have room for much more. And then to finish off the triceps, I busted out a rest pause set of the diamond push-ups, which I find they really light my triceps up. So especially if you start doing them with weight in the rest pause fashion, you can get a killer tricep pump in a short amount of time. But no dumbbells, no weights, just your body and the floor. It's really useful in situations like we find ourselves in today. And then I went out to the garage. This is pretty funny to look at. All I had out here was a makeshift pull-up bar. And I didn't even have a barbell yet. Didn't have my platform. Didn't have my squat racks. I'm so grateful to have all those things now. I can train like how I like to. This was all right, but doing heavy squats, deadlifts, benches, overhead press, that's what it's all about for me. And I'm doing them one arm at a time just to really focus and squeeze. But if you're low on time, it's perfectly okay to do them with both arms at the same time. That's what I do nowadays, because I don't really like to be working out for longer than 2 hours. These sessions were getting ridiculous with the volume. They were getting up to 3 hours, maybe 3.5 hours, and it was just starting to interfere with my personal life. So just really grateful I'm able to get more volume in less time now with the equipment that I have. And here you can see I'm doing some pull-ups with into a leg raise combo, actually. I'm really glad that I have a real pull-up bar now. This thing was so unstable. It would swing all over the place. It would roll, which was, a good challenge, but it wouldn't allow me to target my lats the way I really wanted to, due to the usually the stabilizers or the wrists or the hands giving out before my lats in most scenarios. And then the leg raises, I still do them. I really love them. They're a great bang for your buck exercise. They hit the grip, they hit the abs, they stretch out your lower back and decompress it all at the same time. So you're getting 3 things done at once. Can't go wrong there. Wrapping the day up here with a standing band crunch. This is a great one for building core strength. That is also a good squat accessory, especially if you tend to fold over in the squat. This is going to help you gain the ability to grind those kind of reps out, even though it's a ugly taco squat, basically. So it's funny to see that I'm doing this light of a resistance. I'm doing roughly 3 to 4 times more band tension nowadays. So just to show you, if you keep being persistent with this movement, it will pay off and you'll build a really strong set of abs. That's all we got time for today. So thank you for watching. If you want to get a hold of me for coaching packages, a consultation, or just for me to check your form out, send me a video or an email to strengthhacks1@gmail.com. And, have a great day. Thanks.